Trump declared himself acting president of Venezuela in a viral post. A controversial social media post by US President Donald Trump has sparked fresh debate and confusion across international political circles. President Trump shared an image on his social media platform, Truth Social, portraying himself as the acting president of Venezuela. This comes just days after Trump signed an executive order declaring a national emergency to protect Venezuelan oil revenue held in US Treasury accounts from legal attachment or judicial seizure. He said the move is aimed at advancing U.S. foreign policy and national security objectives. According to the White House, the executive order blocks any attachment, judgment, lien, execution, garnishment, or other judicial process against Venezuelan oil revenues and diluent sales deposited in U.S. Treasury accounts. These funds, termed foreign government deposit funds, are to remain frozen unless specifically authorized under the new order. The order also prohibits any transfer or dealing in the funds and overrides earlier directives that may have regulated or restricted such transfers or dealings. It states that the oil revenues are the sovereign property of Venezuela, held in U.S. custody for governmental and diplomatic purposes, and cannot be claimed by private parties. The U.S. Embassy had also warned that the security situation in Venezuela remained highly unstable and urged all U.S. citizens not to travel to the country and to depart immediately if already there. In a January 10, 2026 security alert, the embassy reiterated long-standing travel warnings dating back to 2019, when the U.S. fully withdrew diplomatic personnel from its Caracas mission and suspended all consular services. On January 3, 2026, the U.S. military launched a targeted operation in Venezuela that resulted in the abduction of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores. In the early hours of January 3rd, more than 200 U.S. Special Operations Forces conducted a pre-dawn raid in Caracas. The mission, codenamed Operation Absolute Resolve, targeted several locations, primarily the Fort Tiuna military complex. U.S. forces reportedly dragged Maduro and Flores from their residence within the complex. They were transported to the USS Iwo Jima and subsequently flown to New York City. While no U.S. personnel were killed, the raid resulted in significant casualties. Reports indicate that at least dozens of Venezuelan security officers and Cuban special forces, acting as Maduro's bodyguards, were killed. Following the capture, Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in as acting president by the National Assembly, denouncing the operation as a kidnapping and a violation of sovereignty. The public justification for the operation was framed as a law enforcement action.